Hey guys, Ryan here with Southern Reptiles. These are some of my juvenile redfoots. They're munching down on some weeds and leaves and all stuff that grows here naturally. Don't get me wrong, I do feed them a good amount of produce, but I also try to substitute with a lot of natural stuff to feed them. We tend to feed them just very, very calorie dense food all the time, and the result usually is they grow very quickly because of the high amount of sugar and calories, and as a result their shells get bumpy and they don't stay smooth. So when you feed them this stuff that doesn't have a lot of nutritional value or calories in it, but this is what they would normally eat in the wild, so the result is pretty smooth growth. They grow real smooth shells, and it's slow but steady growth, and they love this stuff. It's a little bit of Mexican clover, some calusa leaves, a little bit of opuntia cactus. And see, they should have to struggle for the food a little bit. That's what helps keep their beak worn down, is that tearing and tugging on the food that helps give them the strength they need and also keeps that beak worn down. Sometimes you see tortoises in captivity, they have a really, really long overgrown beak, and that's because they're constantly eating soft, cut up food that they don't really have to ever work at it and tear at it to bite into it. In the wild, they're not going to come across this food just chopped up and ready to go for them. So I usually try to just give them the stuff whole and let them chow into it. It's part of the process. So those are some juvenile redfoots. And got two adult females. These are both breeder females, egg layers. Just gave them some cactus, but they look like they're ready for some more food. Indian stars, they're chowing on some Mexican clover. And like I said, don't get me wrong, I don't always have time to pick weeds all day and feed them, but I try to make an effort. They eat a lot of romaine and other greens that I pick up at the farmer's market. I get a lot of 50% off greens that they're not spoiled, but they're, soggy and soft and people won't eat them. So I get it 50% off and I feed it to my tortoises and they love it. Two Russian males just hanging out, chowing on some cactus. See, here's a good example right here, keeping that beak worn down. Oh, these two are going at it. It's their breeding time right now, so they're a little aggressive, but they don't ever shed blood or anything bad. But yeah, I feed them sometimes on top of that slate brick there, that brick paver, and that helps keep the beak worn down also, and they rub their beak up against that and it helps. They get into little squabbles, but they usually settle it pretty quickly. One of them will run away and hide. The key is to have visual barriers, and there's lots of areas for them to get behind here and hide, and they've got hides everywhere so they can get away from each other and not constantly antagonize each other. box turtle. What's going on in here with the cherry heads? Hey, buddy. Got cactus growing all over the place. Just ripped cactus off. See, I got hibiscus leaves. Just pull some hibiscus leaves off. And no, you camera shy? No, now you eat it once I let go of it. See if she wants a piece of cactus. Just getting the, there we go. Believe it or not, this girl right here is only about, I would say, 8 inches, maybe 8.5 inches shell length, and she lays 3 eggs 3 times a year consistently for the past 2 years now. She's not very big. She's one of your, dwarf cherries that's only about, 8.5, 9 inches. She'll continue to grow a little bit more, but that's about it. And then we got this guy, Rudolph, my big male. This guy's gotta be one of the biggest cherry heads in captivity. I mean, he's huge. He's older, so his head's, lost a lot of the color to it, but look at that shell. The shell's got some stories to tell. But he still breeds and he's still fertile. I would say he's probably 50 years old at minimum. But he still runs around with the young guys, and he doesn't take crap from anybody. This guy right here, I got him from Hillary over at Wild Cargo Pets in West Palm Beach. He's a good breeder. By the way, if you ordered some cactus from my website, I just packed it up and I'm dropping it off tomorrow morning at the post office. Thank you if you ordered. I appreciate it. A lot of that money that I make from the cactus helps actually go towards me buying food for my tortoises and buying, supplies for their enclosures and things like that. So, very grateful. Thank you. Got lots of bananas growing, as you can see. I'm actually going to trim back some of these banana trees because I think my Russian enclosure is just too shaded almost, if that makes sense. They like a lot of sun, and I think they're actually getting too much shade because this, I just think maybe they need a little bit more sunlight. But here's some of them sleeping. These are 3 females back here, all sleeping. There's a mango tree I planted recently. It's growing fast. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys all coming along and listening to me ramble. So I'm going to try to start doing some topics maybe and get into some different things. But for now, I've just kind of been spontaneously doing videos. So thanks for watching.